Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to do one of my favorite videos, which is a Sephora haul. I was just talking about this in my last video, but I'm definitely a Sephora girl at heart. I am always browsing the app to see what's new. So I have a bunch of new products that I want to share with you that I picked up. I have used some of these in trying new makeup videos, so if you want to see some of these in action, I will have my past 2 or 3 trying new makeup videos linked down below. And of course, I will link everything that I share today down below in the description box. If you're new here, I hope you stick around and subscribe. And if you enjoy Sephora hauls, give this video a thumbs up and let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so before we get into what I picked up, I wanted to thank Rakuten for sponsoring this portion of today's video and remind you guys to use Rakuten when you shop online. If you're not familiar, Rakuten is the largest cashback website that partners with so many different retailers. I think it's over 2,500, including Sephora, ULTA, Kohl's, M.A.C, just really anything you can think of, and they give you cash back for shopping that you were already gonna do. I personally do about 90% of my shopping online, so I'm always checking Rakuten before I shop at any retailer to see what kind of cash back I can get. I've even got like 10%, 15% cash back when I've ordered my contacts or when I've booked a trip. So it's completely free to sign up. Once you sign into your account, you just type in the retailer that you want to shop at. It'll show you the cash back and you click shop now, and that's it. You get cash back for shopping that you were already going to do. Now they are running a promo today only, and it is their St. Patrick's Day event. You are going to be able to get 10% cash back at hundreds of retailers. I wanted to note ULTA is included in this. So I know the 21 Days of Beauty is going on right now. So if you are making any purchases, you can get 10% cash back today only at ULTA. Also other retailers like Too Faced, M.A.C, Kylie Cosmetics, and Urban Outfitters. I shop at Urban actually a lot for a lot of my clothes and just beauty products. So definitely check them out. And if you sign up using the top link in my description box, you will receive a $30 sign-up bonus when you make your first qualifying purchase. So all the information will be down below. Thank you again to Rakuten for sponsoring this portion of today's video. And let's go ahead and jump into what I picked up from Sephora. All right, so I wanted to start off with one of my new favorite products. I need more shades. I picked up 3 of the Haus Labs blushes. These are so gorgeous, so easy to use. I love the colors they came out with. They weren't afraid to give us some bright shades. So I have 3 here. This is probably my favorite shade, which are we surprised? No. But what I love about this is it's a cool pink, but it's not too light. So you're not going to get that cast or almost like that ashy look on your cheeks. It's deep enough that I feel like it'll work for a lot of different skin tones, but it still has that cool pink baby doll vibe. So this is definitely my favorite. And then I would say second, I'm wearing this one today mixed with some other blushes. This one is bright, but again, these are pigmented, but not scary pigmented. So they're kind of a formula where you can tap in, tap your brush off, and then build it up. It's not something where I feel like it's like, oh my gosh, you can't work with it. It blends beautifully. So this one is Watermelon Kiss. And then the more neutral or subdued one is the Peach shade. This one's beautiful as well, but you guys know I like a pop in my blush. So this one I don't use as much as the others, but the formula, the packaging, presentation, colors, everything on this product is an A+. If you haven't tried them, highly recommend doing so. So while we're on the topic of blush, I did also pick up the One Size new shade in their blush trio. So this is in the shade Attention Seeker. Now I demoed this, I don't know, a few weeks back, and I had a rough go, okay? I used way too much and I tried to use this over powder, which 10 out of 10 don't recommend. So this is a very cool toned blush. Unlike the Haus Labs, this one is lighter. So this is a little bit trickier. I feel like the cream you really have to be careful with. I mean, look how like thick that is. You just need the tiniest amount, and I really do not recommend trying to put the cream over powder. The powder blush is beautiful. I added a little bit of the powder blush right on top of that Haus Labs blush, and it is easy to use. use. It's beautiful. And then the topper is definitely a topper. I wouldn't use it as a highlighter. I would more so use this. I should have used it actually today on like my inner corner, but I overall like this. I think that the cream formula is a little tricky. The powders in here are super easy to use. The day that I was trying this, I don't know why I went in super heavy over powder, but that was my mistake. So I think this is a really beautiful blush. It's definitely not my favorite of all the cool tone pink blushes, but I am enjoying it the more I use it. Okay, next up, let's talk primers. I went a little crazy and I feel like a lot were dropping, so I did pick up 3. So I've tried a couple of them. This one I haven't tried. This is the Peter Thomas Roth Instant Firm X No Filter Primer. Feel like a lot of you are recommending this. I don't know if this is new or this is just like reformulated, but some of the reviews had mentioned pilling, and I think that's why I sort of skipped over it. I know my friend Cheryl just used it in her video and she said that she did have pilling, but she was trying, you know, new stuff, so that could be it. So it comes out like a milky sort of gel, and then as I blend it out, I do feel like my skin looks perfected on my hand where I blended it. I'm wondering if this is something that is going to be a little finicky with certain foundations or powders, because I do feel like it kind of dries down to maybe like a matte finish, and I do think the whole point of it is to really like blur smile lines, crow's feet, and stuff like that. I would say if you're going to use this, you may want to really stipple on your products rather than swiping. I can see how this would pill if you were like to rub it. So this is definitely in my need to try in a trying new makeup, but I have tried the next 2 primers and I have one that I like and one that I'm not loving. So let's start off with the Glow Recipe Strawberry BHA Pore Smoothing Blur Drops. So this is very liquidy, almost like the very thin milky gel again, but when you rub it in, it sort of gets a little bit more of a thick texture, and then it has a little bit of a tack. Nothing crazy, but definitely a little bit of a tack to it. I don't really know why they put BHA in a blurring primer, and I didn't notice honestly anything with blurring. I mean, on the back it says blurs pores in 30 seconds. I don't know. I didn't notice that my pores were blurred at all. I actually felt like they looked worse than they usually do. I definitely see an instant difference with the Blur Jam or the Hourglass Primer or the Cali Ray, and I just didn't get that with this. So this is something I'm gonna have to keep testing out. But a primer that I'm loving, even though I had a, you know, interesting first experience, is the Freck Prime Serum. It's interesting because when it comes out, it is a milky sort of moisturizer feel with a little bit of that gel. And then when you start to rub it in, it has that stringy sort of vibe, very similar to like the COSRX Snail, if you've ever tried that. Smells just like the moisturizer from Freck, which I like. But what I really like about this is it gives you a nice hydration without adding a thick emollient layer where I feel like makeup cakes on top. It can just look heavy and really not be flattering on texture. So this is definitely impressing me. I want to continue to try it. It says it's supposed to lock your makeup in, and I've had a couple comments that said you've been using this and your makeup has been lasting like all day. So I'm interested to really test that out. But in terms of just an extra hydrating layer that's very thin under makeup that sits beautifully, I've really been liking this. Okay, so along with a ton of new primers, I feel like concealers are dropping left and right. So I picked up a few. I want to start off with this product that I purchased. I tried it one time and I am not loving it, and I am sort of confused. So this is the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Vitamin CC Stick. So this is supposed to brighten and color correct and also have skincare for your under eye. I was anticipating maybe something like the Becca Under Eye Corrector, but obviously not as pigmented or, you know, not a ton of coverage, but I really thought that it would do more than it did. So I got the banana shade, and it's interesting because when you swatch it, it definitely appears like it has a radiance to it, but it does appear like it's gonna give you, you know, a little bit of coverage or correction. But I found that when I blend it out, I really just don't see anything other than maybe a little bit of like a greasy feel. It didn't look bad under my concealer the time that I used it, but it really just didn't give me any coverage or really any brightening effect. For me, if I'm going to use a corrector or something underneath to brighten, I really want it to kind of cancel out my blueness, you know, my under eye discoloration, and this just didn't. And I feel like on the models, they swiped it on and it looked like it was really going to change the look of your under eye, and I just don't see it other than maybe a little bit of a radiance. So for me, I don't know. If you've tried this, I want to know your thoughts, but I'm not over the moon about it. Along with the Ole Henriksen, I did pick up 2 actual concealers, both from luxury brands. So let's start off with the Valentino Beauty. So this is supposed to be hydrating, 24-hour wear, medium coverage. It is a cute little packaging, and the color I got was LN3. So this is extremely thin, very, very thin. So I feel like this is going to be for those of you that like a natural look, don't like anything heavy, blends out great. My only complaint is this doesn't have a ton of coverage. This reminds me a lot of the Say Beauty concealer in the way that it looks. Very radiant and gives you, I don't want to say like a glitter or shimmer, but it really does brighten up and give you a radiance on your under eye. But the texture is completely different. The Say Beauty is thick, emollient, skincare feeling. This is extremely, extremely thin. So if you're looking for something that has light, buildable to medium coverage and gives you a radiance under your eye that doesn't feel heavy, I think that you would enjoy this. And then the Givenchy, I probably like more than the Valentino. Now this is the Prisme Libre Skin Caring. This is huge. Like if you look at these, it's huge. I kind of like that it's big, but this is in the shade N120. So this one, again, very thin, but not as radiant as the Valentino. This one definitely doesn't have as much of that like glow or luminosity, but I feel like with that, a little bit more coverage on the Givenchy. I prefer probably the Givenchy, but I do like both of them. Neither of them I'm like, oh my gosh, no, but they're not the ones that I would reach for if I was doing full glam. These are more on the natural side if you want something that feels very lightweight and thin. So I don't dislike either, but I still have to keep testing them, and I will give you my updated thoughts in a few weeks. Okay, next up, I only have one bronzer that I picked up recently. This is the Tower 28 Sculptino in the color Getty. So they had their bronzinos, which blend beautifully, but they have a lot of shimmer in them. So I'm super happy to see that they came out with a formula that is not full of shimmer. This is just my preference. I don't really like anything that's going to enhance my texture, and it just was a little too shimmery for me. This blends honestly like a dream. I'm not surprised because their cream blushes are just so easy to use. I do think I need to get a shade a little bit deeper. This one gives me a nice amount of warmth, but it's not enough to really give me that chiseled look like, let's say, the LYS. So I'm enjoying this. If you've been, eyeing this, I highly recommend picking it up. I don't think you'd be disappointed. All right, next up, I picked up one hair product, and I actually really like this. Now, I've only used it once, but this is my first product, I think, from this brand, and I was really impressed. This is the Day Violet Hour Purple Shampoo. So I love the packaging. I just love the vibe of this brand, but it has had pretty iffy reviews. I didn't know if this was actually going to do anything. A lot of times purple shampoos really don't do much. You almost have to have them on for like 6-7 minutes to really get that tone. And I think it's pretty clear that I like my hair pretty icy. So I've been using the Olaplex for, honestly, years now. I feel like since it's come out, I don't know, a year ago or something like that. It just really gets the job done quickly. It's very intense, like it'll stain your hands in the shower. So this I didn't know, but when I saw the back, it said leave in for 2 to 4 minutes. Just to be safe, I only left it on for a couple minutes, but I think it's like sort of similar to the Olaplex, maybe not quite as intense. So if you tried the Olaplex and it's a little scary, this may be like a notch down. It smells incredible, and look how dark this is. Like you can tell that this definitely is going to tone. This smells like peaches. It is delicious, and that's something I've heard about this brand, so that's why I wanted to try it, but everything just kind of had like reviews. So if you're looking for a purple shampoo, this really does the job. It smells great. It really lathered too. A lot of times with purple shampoos, they almost clump and they won't actually stick to the hair, but this one did a great job. So I'm going to keep testing it out, and I'm sort of wondering if this is going to beat out my Olaplex. So along with that shampoo, I've been eyeing this brand that I saw recently pop up on Sephora, and I went ahead and grabbed one product to try. So the brand is called Hani. I believe that's how you say it, Hani or Hani. This is the Splash Salve In Shower Moisture Treatment. Listen, I'm lazy, okay? I can just be lazy, and I want something that's easy some days to give me some moisture without having to do the whole head to toe applying it. So this says, in the shower, after cleansing or shaving, right before stepping out, apply directly to wet skin, rinse quickly under water without using your hands or scrubbing, gently pat skin dry with a towel. It really does feel, I would say, kind of like coconut oil, where it's definitely thick in there, but when you rub your fingers in, you definitely get that kind of emollient feel. It is heavily scented, a little floral, maybe like a floral, I don't know, spa scent, which isn't my favorite, but I know that they also had like a spray body oil that I was looking at too. Kind of went in and out of stock. So I will try this out and let you guys know my feedback. But this brand, I mean, honestly, anytime a new brand pops up on Sephora, I'm like, what's that? And I usually end up buying something to try. Okay, and to finish off this haul, I have lip products, and I only have 4, which really honestly isn't a lot for me. So I have 2 different lip liners. I've tried both formulas and I love both. So I picked up another shade of the LYS lip liner. So this is in the color Driven. It's a little bit deeper than the other color that I got. Very, very creamy, very pigmented. Reminds me of like a Pat McGrath type formula. So it's not slipping and sliding. It has a nice tug to it, but it's not dry. Let's say like a MAC lip pencil where you're like really trying to get it to move. It lasts well too. It doesn't bunch up. I've really been enjoying these lip liners. And then I also picked up another shade from One Size. Also love this formula. I would say this one leans kind of in between the LYS and a MAC, where it is a little bit more of that wooden pencil feel. So I got the color Out of Line. This one definitely leans a little bit more pinky red than I like. It's really hard to tell online because I do tend to prefer more of like a nude or brown shade, but I wanted something a little bit different than the other color I got. So I would say I'm definitely preferring the LYS color, but I love the formula on this as well. They're very similar, but I would say the One Size is not quite as pigmented. You might have to really kind of work it in a little bit more, but they both last well throughout the day. I'm really, really happy with both of these formulas, and I don't think either of them is crazy high priced if you're comparing them to something like the Pat McGrath or Charlotte Tilbury. So if you saw my last trying new makeup video, I did demo this product, and I actually like it more than I thought I would. This is the Fenty Beauty Velvet Liquid Lipstick in Sea Sweetheart. I love the packaging. The shades were a little bit difficult to figure out, and I would like to see more, but this is a very moussey formula. I like that it doesn't feel dry or cakey on the lips. It didn't give me that line on the inside. Now, the only thing about this is it wears obviously longer than a bullet lipstick, but it's not gonna wear like an ABH liquid lipstick because it has that velvet feel. You can see that it definitely will transfer and smudge, but I think with that, it's definitely going to feel more comfortable, which I actually prefer. This is very pigmented, and when you do put it on, it almost looks like clay or powder. It's really, really smooth and matte. So if you want that matte look without that dry down feel, so I think it's a good option for those of you that really like more of a velvet feel rather than a flat matte. And the last product I picked up is a lip oil. This isn't a new formula, but I have never tried it. I don't know why, but I just saw it pop up on Sephora. I'm not sure if it's been on there before, but I've never been able to get it on Sephora, at least in the US. And when I saw it pop up, I grabbed one. So this is from Clarins, and this is the Clarins lip oil, which I know everybody's probably like, girl, you're late. And I am late, but I got the color Pitaya. So when I saw these pop up, I was like, ooh, I had to grab one. It's giving me very much Dior vibes. Okay, that smells incredible. Wow, that smells delicious. Although, does it look like there's literally barely any product in there? That's a little interesting. So this shade, oh my God, I can't get over how good it smells. It is a sheer sort of like pink raspberry. My thing with lip oils is I wish they had more pigment. I wish they had like the K-Skin lip oil pigment or the Lunar Beauty new lip oils. I think you only had 2 shades that have more color to them because I do feel like in the end, they all kind of look the same, but this smells divine. I'm actually going to just try this on because I want to see the texture. Okay, it feels really, really nice. Ooh, that feels really nice. I think I might like this more than the Dior, which the Dior is not like my favorite ever, but ooh, that feels good. This is very thin though. It has no, stickiness. It's not thick. I don't know how long it would last. Ooh, that feels good though. Okay, I think I really like this. Like a lot. I don't know why I haven't tried it. I don't know. I think it was just, making an order separately on a retailer just for this. So again, the accessibility of things being at Sephora, I love that. I think it's beautiful. I would like to have more pigment in it, but it does almost feel like it's adjusting a little bit as it's on my hand. I wonder if it leaves like a little stain. Yeah, it does. It leaves a really mild stain, very similar to like the House Labs, but I prefer this formula. The smell, it smells incredible. It's like delicious, yummy, I don't know, like pina colada, fruity something. So if you were looking to try these out and you were like, I can never find them, check them out on Sephora because they just popped up and I am so happy that I bought one. Okay guys, so I think that is everything for this Sephora haul. I definitely have some things that are in my cart that I'm eyeing and I'm trying to hold off until the sale if it's not something that I feel like I need like right now. But if you've tried any of these products, I would love to hear your feedback. Also what you've been loving that you've picked up recently. Again, I will link everything down below in my description box as well as the Rakuten sign up to get your welcome bonus. I hope you enjoyed this video and if you did, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I hope you stick around and subscribe. Thank you guys, as always, for watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next one.